The Kamala Harris team and Democratic activists all tried to urge voters to remember the chaos of Trump's first term, but the lines to purchase toilet paper, separating children from their parents and locking them in cages, the denial of aid to Puerto Rico after a hurricane, or California for wildfires, the refusal to attend a D-Day commemoration event, his overreaction to Black Lives Matter, all of that turned into a distant memory when people voted for Trump against their own best interest. With the nomination and subsequent withdrawal of Matt Gaetz, the nomination of sexual assault enabler Linda McMahon, fake supplements peddler Dr. Oz, accused rapist and anti-Christian Peter Hegseth, Russian asset Tulsi Gabbard, and puppy slayer Kristi Noem, Trump has shown that chaos is going to be the reigning theme of Trump 2.0 as well. This group is so profoundly unqualified and incompetent that conservative activist George Conway had this to say.
He doesn't have a mandate to engage in the sort of destructive behavior that he has engaged in the last 24 hours with these 3 picks. And let me dilate on that a little bit. These 3 picks are truly as bad as you could imagine. If you were actively trying to do harm to the country, to destroy the country, these are the kinds of people, if not the people, you would pick. And I'm going to say something here just to, we're only 9 days into this. We got 4 more years to go potentially here.
But it's not just the nominations that is kicking off the chaos. It's Team Trump itself. There's a fundamental tension with Team Trump between largely unintelligent people with oversized egos who only want to do the bidding of Trump in exchange for power and celebrity, like Hegseth and McMahon, and the wealthy opportunists who want to use government to transfer even more wealth and control to billionaires in order to create a ruling oligarchy. These 2 groups, who each have shifting allegiances, do not get along, and it's already creating chaos within. The big bag of rats are starting to claw and fight each other over who gets Trump's attention, which, as we all know, lasts about 5 to 7 seconds, and who is going to destroy the country in what particular way. It's a team that was bound to not get along. Nepo babies, overinflated egos, lack of qualifications and experience, combined with bombast, impatience, and unrealistic convictions as to their roles and power. What could possibly go wrong? Well, a lot. And that's good news for the country, because as long as Team Trump is fighting itself, it's easier to defend the country. And Team Trump is already starting to fight itself in the transition team, long before the actual cabinet comes together. Today, the Washington Post is reporting on the transition with this headline: Sharp elbows and raised voices inside Trump's bumpy transition. And this subheading: his freewheeling team has returned to the patterns of his first term in office, with shouting matches, expulsions from meetings, and name-calling. And you really have to appreciate the name-calling on the part of adults arguing over who is going to guide this country. The Post report states, new camps have formed at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida, with competing visions for how to prepare for the next 4 years, with shouting matches, expulsions from meeting, and name-calling as frequent occurrences between various factions. According to the Post, 3 different factions have formed, each with their own leaders and strategic goals. One of those camps is led by Trump's eldest son, Donald Jr., along with Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, as well as Tucker Carlson, Vance advisor Andy Sarabian, and ex-Trump White House official Cliff Sims. Another faction is led by Trump White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, who also co-chaired Trump's 2024 campaign. Now remember, Wiles was promised more control over the White House and about picking the cabinet than previous Trump chiefs of staff. And isn't it just a little cute that Susie is just now figuring out that Trump is a liar and she is going to have to fight tooth and nail to have even a shred of power? You almost feel like sidling up to her and comforting her for just finding out that Santa isn't real. But to make things even more chaotic, there is a third faction on Team Trump. According to the Post, the third faction consists of transition co-chair and Secretary of Education designate Linda McMahon. So in addition to describing the teams, the Post also reported on the action, describing an altercation between Trump attorney Boris Epshteyn and transition team co-chair Howard Lutnick. Lutnick physically blocked Epstein's path as he tried to enter a Mar-a-Lago meeting about potential cabinet appointees, telling him, "We're not talking legal nominees today." But Epstein reportedly stiff-armed Lutnick, saying, "I'm coming in." And in a contentious meeting on the patio, Elon Musk and Epstein got into a loud back and forth, with Musk accusing Epstein of leaking sensitive details of meetings to the press. A witness described the encounter on the Mar-a-Lago patio as a huge fight and a big blow-up, with Epstein reportedly saying, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything wrong." It's not exactly surprising that pure hubris will be the largest guardrail that we have. The team tearing at each other while they all fight over power. The internal dysfunction of Team Trump will provide opportunity for the left to focus on fighting them in court. And all the while, we cannot stop exposing these people for the complete and utter frauds that they are. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.